All right, let's dive in. Today we are unpacking Ryan Coogler's Sinners. And let me tell you, this film is so much more than just a horror movie. It's a period piece, it's a gangster flick, a musical, and a really deep cultural commentary all rolled into one incredible package. So let's get into it. Right off the bat, the movie hits you with this question. I mean, yeah, on the surface, it's about a crazy all-night fight against vampires. But what it's really asking you to do is to look past the fangs and the blood and see the world they live in, and to ask yourself, who are the real monsters here? So the story kicks off in 1932, right in the thick of Jim Crow-era Mississippi. And that's where we meet our guys, twin brothers Smoke and Stack. They're World War I vets, fresh from the gangster-run streets of Chicago, and they've come back home with a pocket full of cash and this one powerful dream, to build something that's truly theirs, right in the heart of a world that was designed to crush them. Now, what's so cool is that both twins are played by Michael B. Jordan, and they're really like two sides of the same coin. Smoke, he's a pragmatist, he's grounded, he's calculating, and he's all about surviving the world just as it is. But Stack, he's the total opposite. He's the dreamer, all passion and fire, and he actually believes he can build a better world. They're basically two completely different ways of dealing with the exact same trauma. And Smoke just lays it out perfectly with this one line. See, they're not trying to escape racism. They've seen both kinds, the ugly, in-your-face violence of the South and the quieter, systemic version up north. So they decided to come home, not to run away, but to stand their ground and carve out their own little kingdom on their own terms. So what is this kingdom they're building? It's a juke joint. But listen, it is so much more than just a club. In a world that's constantly pushing them down, this place they build with their own two hands is a sanctuary. It's a spot for the Black community to finally experience some joy, to hear their music, and to get a real taste of freedom. And the crew they put together? Well, each person is a piece of the puzzle, representing a different part of the Southern experience. You've got their cousin Sammy, who's a straight-up musical genius. There's Delta Slim, the storyteller who carries all the history and the pain of the past. You've got Mary, who has to navigate that dangerous line between the black and white worlds. And then Grace and Bo, Chinese shopkeepers who are also marginalized in this segregated society. They're not just a staff, they're a community. And you know what? For one incredible night, it actually works. The Juke Joint is a massive success. It's just this beautiful, powerful moment of pure community and self-determination. They didn't just open a business. For that one night, they were, in a word, free. But of course, the peace doesn't last. As the night deepens, the real-world horror starts to blend with something supernatural. And this is where the movie's biggest metaphor just comes roaring to life. Okay, so let's get right into it. The vampirism in Sinners, it's not just about fangs and bats. Think of it like a virus of hate. It's a metaphor for the way systemic racism spreads, seeping from one generation to the next. And it's also about something just as violent, the erasure of your culture when you're forced to assimilate. And the lead vampire, this guy Rennick, he is the perfect, terrifying example of this idea. He was an Irish immigrant, once a victim of repression himself. But to survive, he made a choice. He decided to become a predator. He's this tragic assimilation monster, someone who gave up his own identity to grab some power within the very system that crushed him. And this is where it gets really twisted. Check out his sales pitch. He actually frames vampirism as the solution to racism. A hive mind where everyone's equal because everyone's the same. No culture, no identity, no soul. The movie is just screaming at you here, critiquing this whole twisted idea that you can achieve equality by just erasing what makes people who they are. So let's just break down these symbols real quick because everything has a deeper meaning here. The vampires, they're the virus of systemic racism and forced assimilation. The Juke Joint, that's their self-made kingdom. Sammy's guitar isn't just wood and strings, it's his culture, his heritage, and it becomes a weapon. And the sun, well, the sun is everything. It's freedom, it's truth, it's humanity. So if you've got this virus of hate spreading everywhere, what's the cure? What's the antidote? Well, the film has a clear answer. It's the soulful, spiritual power of music. And this is one of my favorite ideas in the whole movie. Music here is not just background noise. It's presented as a kind of spiritual technology. It's a force so powerful, it can connect the past to the future, the living to the dead. It's a weapon that strengthens your identity and fights back against anyone trying to erase it. And you see this come to life in what is honestly one of the most incredible scenes in the film. Sammy starts playing his guitar, and the walls of the juke joint literally dissolve. Suddenly you see West African drummers, then 70s funk players, then 90s DJs all playing together in the same space. It's this beautiful visual of black music as one long, unbroken conversation through time. It's a force of survival. So when you strip everything else away, the whole story comes down to this one huge, devastating choice for every character. Do you choose a life in the sun or an eternity in the shadows? And this is the gut punch. The tragic irony of it all. Smoke actually makes it through the night. He fights and beats the supernatural evil, but just as the sun is coming up, the human monsters show up, the clan, and he's killed fighting them. It just hammers home the film's point in the most brutal way possible. Sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones who can walk in the daylight. But wait, because the story doesn't end there. We get this mid-credit scene that just changes everything. We jump forward 60 years. It's 1992, and we find an elderly Sammy, who's now a world-famous blues legend. And then he gets a visit from Stack and Mary, looking like not a single day has passed since that night in 1932. So you see, Sammy chose the sun. He chose to live. He had a finite human life. And yeah, it was full of pain and loss, but it was also full of creation, of growth. He didn't need immortality because his music, that was his legacy. He became a permanent part of that timeless, unbroken song he summoned all those years ago. And then there's Stack. He made the other choice. He chose the shadows. He got his eternal life, but look at the cost. He's literally frozen in time, a ghost from 1932. He can't grow, he can't change, he can't create. Sure, he got to live forever, but he lost his soul in the bargain. And Stack's last line in the movie, man, it just says it all. In his hunt for power, for a life without pain, he ended up losing the only thing that ever really mattered, real freedom. The freedom to feel the sun, to grow old, to truly live. And that's what the film leaves you with, right? It's asking you to think about what it really means to live forever. Is it just about not dying? Or is it about creating something so true and so powerful that it echoes through time long after you're gone? Something that truly lives on, forever, in the light.